This is Spelling List 27. Lawyer. The lawyer for the defense called a surprise witness to the stand. Lawyer. Electrician. A licensed electrician did all the wiring in our new house. Electrician. Assistant. The principal's assistant handed her the schedule for the day. Assistant. Mechanic. Dad had a mechanic check the car thoroughly before we left for vacation. Mechanic. Scientist. The scientist was an expert in geology. Scientist. Salesperson. The salesperson gave us a discount on the dress because it was missing a button. Salesperson. Secretary. The secretary printed out the day's meeting schedule. Secretary. Carpenter. A local carpenter donated his time and skills to help the homeless flood victims. Carpenter. Author. Daniel Defoe is the author of Robinson Crusoe. Author. Minister. A minister needs time to study the Bible and pray for his congregation. Minister. Missionary. David Livingstone, missionary to Africa, discovered and named Victoria Falls. Missionary. Gardener. The gardener pruned the rose bushes. Gardener. Cashier. The cashier deducted the value of the coupons and then gave me the total. Cashier. Educator. Booker T. Washington was a famous American educator and influenced the lives of many students. Educator. Plumber. The plumber repaired the pipes which had broken in the freezing temperatures. Plumber. Inventor. Thomas Edison was the inventor of the light bulb and the phonograph. Inventor. Manager. We were given a discount by the restaurant's manager because we had to wait so long for our order. Manager. Chef. The chef at Mom and Dad's favorite restaurant was trained in Paris. Chef. Technician. The laboratory technician had the results of the test in just a few minutes. Technician. Editor. The editor made only minor changes in the author's new book. Editor. Consultant. The company president hired a consultant to suggest many ways to improve his business. Consultant. Photographer. The photographer's antics had the baby smiling in seconds. Photographer. Theologian. A theologian studies God and the Bible. Theologian. Acts. The book of Acts tells of the spread of Christianity from Jerusalem to the other parts of the world. Acts. Romans. Many Christians use verses from the book of Romans to tell others how to be saved. Romans. A person who inspects a business's financial records and prepares reports. Accountant. The accountant discovered the error which had prevented the company's financial report from balancing. Accountant. Planning and building engines, roads, bridges, etc. Engineering. Builders of roads and canals have studied engineering. Engineering. A scientist who studies weather. Meteorologist. The meteorologist predicted the path of the storm. Meteorologist. A person who assists a lawyer. Paralegal. A paralegal assists an attorney but is not licensed to practice law. Paralegal. A person who writes for a newspaper or magazine. Journalist. A journalist is involved in the production of a newspaper or magazine. Journalist. A person who designs and makes plans for buildings. Architect. The famous architect Frank Lloyd Wright designed the Imperial Hotel complex in Tokyo to withstand earthquakes. Architect. A person who buys and sells for profit. A storekeeper. Merchant. The merchant bought produce from local farmers to sell in his store. Merchant. One who works for someone else in return for training. Apprentice. In former times, a person could learn a trade by becoming an apprentice. Apprentice. A person who starts his own business. Entrepreneur. The entrepreneur worked many long hours the first few years to get his business established. Entrepreneur. An owner. Proprietor. Ask the proprietor if his store will be open later for holiday shoppers. Proprietor.